I used to dread taking chances. Every investment, every new project felt like a high-stake gamble where losing meant the end of the world. The pressure was immense, and honestly, it stopped me from even trying a lot of things. Then I discovered a radically different way of thinking about risk, one that embraced the idea of losing, not as a defeat, but as a strategic advantage. This is the best loser mindset, and it changed everything for me. This video is sponsored by Ultima Markets. More on them later on in the video. The winner and loser effects in humans. Evidence from randomized trials. In a randomized experiment, researchers set out to test a simple question. Do humans, like animals, carry the emotional baggage of wins and losses into future performance? And to answer it, they took participants who were level in skill and intelligence and randomly assigned them to a basic challenge. Think reading quiz or a video game test. The outcome of the first round was manipulated by the researchers. Regardless of actual results, some of the participants were told they won. Others were told they lost. Even though there was no difference in skill, they earned no advantage. The researchers just labeled them winner or loser. Then they put everyone into round 2, this time with the same difficulty and same playing field. Of course, the results were interesting. The labeled winners significantly outperformed the labeled losers. Remember, these people were level on all grounds, but because some of them now believed that they had won, that gave them a mental edge. So, the labeled winners approached the second task with more focus, more drive, and more confidence. Meanwhile, the labeled losers underperformed. They became hesitant, distracted, and sometimes even disengaged. What we're seeing here is what psychologists have long suspected, but rarely proven so cleanly. Losses don't just cost you points, they cost you momentum. This is what researchers call the winner and loser effect. And if you're a trader, investor, or anyone trying to master performance under pressure, this effect could be silently shaping your decisions without you even knowing it. And if you want to learn how to spot and mitigate the winner and loser effect in your trading, keep watching. The Babe Ruth of the Chicago Board of Trade. When you picture the Chicago Board of Trade in its heyday, the roar of open outcry, the sea of traders shouting, jostling, waving arms, there was one man who stood out like a lighthouse in the chaos. Everett Clipp, known to many as the Babe Ruth of the CBOT. Clipp grew up on an Illinois dairy farm, served in the Pacific during World War II, and climbed from a messenger job to owning his seat by 1953. His firm, Alpha Futures, became a powerhouse. But what really made Clipp legendary was his philosophy on how not to make money, but to lose well. Clipp's mantra was simple and counterintuitive. You have to love to lose money and hate to make money. That sounds like madness, right? But wait until you hear what it meant in practice. He drilled into his trainees the discipline to cut losses immediately, never cling to losing positions, and treat every loss as pure, actionable information. He believed the market was full of traps, and if you didn't want to lose, you would end up losing big when volatility struck. But if you embraced small losses as sacrifices, they became fuel, not failures. Mark Spitznagel, the celebrated protege of Clipp and future collaborator with Nassim Taleb, still reveres Clipp as his formative teacher. As a teenager, Spitznagel would sit in the pit, watching Clipp operate, absorbing his rhythm, his calm, his ruthless discipline. Clipp's blunt lesson: books on crop reports are crap. You must take your small losses. And over time, Spitznagel internalized this. He realized that trading isn't about being right. It's about recognizing when you're wrong and exiting before a mistake blows up. He remembers watching traders wipe out in real time while holding losing positions too long. That sight showed him clearly that preserving capital was everything. Clipp packed a long career, a career that stretched across decades of turbulence, reforms in electronic trading, crises in treasury markets, and the unpredictable fluidity of global finance. But through every step, he held to the same philosophy. Take small losses early. Let profits run when strategy and conviction align, and approach each trade as information, not affirmation. He taught hundreds of traders, instilling in them a tough discipline to hate making money quickly and love losing money quickly, because the second meant you stayed alive in the game. And as you stayed alive, opportunity returned, which is how generational edge is built. Talking about opportunities, let me introduce you to FCA-licensed Ultima Markets, where smart traders go to win. Join today and get up to $20,000 with their massive 50% plus 20% first deposit bonus. Yes, you heard that right. And if that's not enough, there is more waiting for you at Ultima Markets. Supercharged leverage up to $2,000. Extra 1% profit, meaning more gains from the same trades. Negative balance protection, a safety net in volatile markets. Free VPS built for active traders, and lightning-fast execution because seconds matter in this business. Trade your way with their MetaTrader 4 and 5 platforms, ultra-low spreads, and multiple payment options. This is your chance. Don't let it slip away. Open your trading account now with Ultima Markets and claim your bonus before it's gone by clicking the link in the description and the pinned comment. Bringing it all together, why you must become a better loser. That research on winner and loser effects didn't just prove that losses hurt performance. It revealed something far more sinister. When you and I lose, even randomly, our brains don't just process it as one bad outcome. Our neurological machinery literally rewires itself for future failure. Now, there's even a greater problem. Most traders are trying to avoid this effect entirely, which is exactly what destroys them, and why so many people fail as traders. Let's go a little deeper about what happens in your brain after a losing trade. The research shows you become hesitant, distracted, and disengage. Your confidence erodes, and your decision-making becomes clouded by the emotional residue of that loss. This is why most traders spiral. They're fighting against millions of years of evolutionary wiring that tells them you lost. Therefore, you're a loser. Now enter Everett Klipp with his counterintuitive philosophy. You have to love to lose money and hate to make money. It's okay to think this is just motivational nonsense, but Klipp understood something profound about human neurology that scientists are only now proving. The trader who learns to lose well is actually hijacking the winner-loser effect. And if you need more convincing, here is the breakthrough insight. When Klipp taught traders to take small losses early, he wasn't just teaching risk management. He was teaching them to reframe neurological defeat as strategic victory. Every time you cut a small loss quickly, your brain registers it as a win, not a loss. Yes, that is correct. It's a win, because at the time, what you did was executing your plan perfectly. You recognized danger and responded with precision. Neurologically, you're training yourself to associate losing money with winning the game. Meanwhile, when you let a small loss become a big loss, your brain experiences the double trauma of losing money and failing to execute. That is two neurological defeats stacked on top of each other, and it creates the exact conditions the research identified for future underperformance. But there is more, and this will blow your mind. Klipp's best traders weren't avoiding the winner-loser effect. They were weaponizing it. When you fall in love with small losses, what you're doing is creating a feedback loop where every properly managed loss will have you feeling more confident, more focused, and more aggressive on the next opportunity. By doing this, you're literally using the brain's reward system against the market. This is why Spitznagel could watch other traders wipe out in real time, while he thrived. And no, it wasn't that he was smarter or had better information. It is that his brain had been neurologically conditioned to interpret losses as victories, which meant he never experienced the psychological momentum drain that destroys most traders. The traders who survive decades aren't the ones who avoid losses. They are the ones who have trained their brains to get stronger from them. They have turned the winner-loser effect into a competitive advantage by redefining what winning actually means. Most traders spend their careers fighting their own neurology. But if you desire to be one of the best ones, you need to learn to reprogram it entirely. That's not risk management. That is cognitive warfare. And once you understand it, you will never look at losing trades the same way again. Talking about how to lose properly, Tom Hougaard's Best Loser Wins is a masterpiece. The book details his story as a beginner trader, how he discovered himself before he could become the trader he needed to be. We made a video summarizing the essence of the book. Click the recommended video to watch it now. If this video helped you understand something new about trading psychology, please hit the like button. Share it with other traders who need to see this message, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Your engagement helps us reach more people who could benefit from these insights. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may the trend be with you.